Joe Biden has been president for 25 months. He said he would build an economy for working families in America. The largest infrastructure law in U.S. history, done. The American Rescue Plan, done. The CHIPS and Science Act, done. The Inflation Reduction Act, done. The United States economy added 517,000 jobs last month alone. The unemployment rate is 3.4%, the lowest in 54 years. Biden created 11 million jobs. That's 440,000 jobs every single month. According to Bloomberg Business, Biden is now on his way to becoming the greatest job-producing president in U.S. history. 35 million Americans today have health care because of the Affordable Care Act. 92% of all Americans have health care that is better and more affordable. It's no wonder why, Mr. Speaker, that our Republican House colleagues are now threatening to destroy the American economy by defaulting on the very obligations that they voted to create. We are better as a nation, and we are better as a Congress.
Hello, friends. Happy January 7th to all of you. I cannot believe that this is happening. The Internal Revenue Service is advising that millions of Americans hold off on filing their taxes for this year. The tax agency is now deciding whether stimulus checks that have been sent out should be taxed or not. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell also has a new update in regards to inflation. Friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video to hear about all of this new information. Also, I will be giving away 2 $75 Walmart gift cards in just a few days. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaways, all you have to do, friends, is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then leave a comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. Today, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell announced that the central bank's fight against inflation has a long way to go, citing a blockbuster jobs report last week that showed the labor market remains hot. This is despite the Fed's efforts to cool our economy. Jerome Powell has recently said this process is likely to take quite a bit of time. It's not likely to be smooth. Consumer prices rose 6.5% over the year-long period, ending in December, which amounts to a significant slowdown from the summer peak. But it's more than tripled the Federal Reserve's target rate of 2%. Speaking at the Economic Club of Washington, D.C., Jerome Powell said the extraordinary strong job figures took the Fed by surprise. The U.S. economy added 517,000 jobs in January, and the unemployment rate fell to its lowest level in 53 years. The Fed recently imposed the latest in an aggressive string of borrowing cost increases as it tries to cut price hikes by slowing the economy and choking off demand. The approach, however, risks tipping the U.S. economy into a recession and putting millions of Americans out of work. Powell has repeatedly said that the Fed will keep its benchmark interest rate elevated until inflation reaches the central bank's 2% target. That means borrowers face higher costs for everything from car loans to credit card debt to even mortgages. While Powell said the strong jobs report indicates that the fight against inflation remains in its very early stages, he considered the labor boom a positive sign. The remarks from Powell arrive a day after U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen rejected recession fears in an interview, stating the economy remains strong and resilient. Yellen has recently said, "You don't have a recession when you have 500,000 jobs and the lowest unemployment rate in more than 50 years. Government data last month showed the U.S. economy grew robustly at the end of last year. But still, most economists expect a recession later this year as interest rate hikes weigh on the economy. According to a very recent survey, forecasters expect gross domestic product to fall over the second and third quarter of this year. Now, friends, here is the news from the Internal Revenue Service. The IRS is asking millions of taxpayers in California Colorado, and other U.S. states that issued tax rebates last year to hold off on filing their taxes. The tax agency said it is seeking to clarify whether those tax rebates and special refunds will be considered taxable income. So on Friday, the IRS said, "We expect to provide additional clarity for as many states and taxpayers as possible next week." About 16 million California residents received middle-class tax refund checks of $350 per eligible taxpayer last year. It was part of a relief package designed by the state to help residents cope with soaring inflation at a time when the state had a budget surplus. Many other U.S. states, including states like Colorado, Illinois, and South Carolina, authorized tax rebates as their coffers were buoyed with strong economic growth and federal crisis aid. But those one-time windfalls are now throwing a wrench into tax season for millions of Americans, many of whom count on getting timely tax refunds to pay down debt or make a purchase. According to the IRS data, last year the average tax refund was almost $3,200. That was a 14% jump from the prior year, an amount that's bigger than the typical worker's paycheck. Some taxpayers have expressed their frustration at the IRS guidance that they should delay filing their tax returns. The agency started accepting returns for this year's tax season on January 23rd. The IRS issued the recent statement after Representative Kevin Kiley, a Republican from California, wrote to the tax agency to say that his office had been contacted by numerous constituents asking for help on the issue. So friends, ultimately, the IRS has said that the best course of action is to wait for additional clarification on state payments rather than calling the IRS. They also do not recommend amending a previously filed 2022 tax return. Thank you, my dear friends, for joining me here and for being part of this community. To show my appreciation, I will be announcing 2 winners this coming Friday for a $75 Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the giveaway, my friends, all you have to do is simply click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword from each video that you watch. Friends, the more videos that you watch and then leave a comment on, the greater your chances of winning the weekly giveaways. Thank you, friends, and have a very wonderful and very blessed day.